Just imagine. Do we see the potential? Hi, it's Jenny Dane. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. So one of the most sought after vintage accessories is a 1960s style sun hat with built-in sunglasses. I'll put up some images for references. If you can find one in the wild, it is very rare. I found some listed on eBay and they are well over my budget. I'd say it's one aspect of vintage fashion that I really think that should be in the modern era, because you know, heading to the beach you forget your sunglasses, but hello, it's built into your hat. Who wouldn't want that? You're just like 2 in 1. It's perfect. So for the materials that you need, I found this bucket style straw hat on eBay. It was only $12, and from what you can do is search bucket straw hat. I've noticed if you put vintage straw hat, it's going to list you like the true vintage stuff that is more expensive, but if you find like a modern one, it's going to be more affordable. And I briefly toyed around with cutting out a sunglass shape and using a 7-Up bottle because it has that green sheen of like a vintage sunglass. I still feel like it would work, but I do have an old pair of sunglasses that I don't wear anymore, so we're going to sacrifice this and put it on the hat. Actually, this will look really good with the outfit I have on. These sunglasses have always done this, and I don't know if it's my ears. It's not necessary, but I bought this gold brick rack and I wanted to put it around the sunglasses so as an added flair.
Future me talking, I do wanted to mention before we get started, you're going to need some clear thread. This will help secure the straws and they won't shift around because of the cutout.
You're going to need a hot glue gun. Other than that, let's get started. Okay, there's no going back now.
Wow! I'm thinking of just trying to push the sunglasses through so it could be just the lens, but before I did that, I outlined it just so I could have the right placement of the lenses. My fear is that they would be too far apart. So as long as it's outlined, we can go from here. So let's try getting this off. So once you've successfully broken your sunglasses, I outlined them again with Sharpie, and I'm going to cut along the line. I first made a hole with my seam ripper so it would be easier to cut through the straw. I would recommend using smaller, sharper scissors than I did. These were a little tough to get around the corners, but it worked out. This is where I noticed the straw was becoming loose because of the cutout, so you want to grab your clear thread and sew each line of the straw. So I went all across each line. That way when we cut closer to the line of the sunglass lens, the straw will stay in place. Also make sure your sewing needles are nice and sharp to get through the straw. This was quite easy. I thought it was going to be harder to get through. I reinforced the seams on the middle, and then just for good measure, just in case the straw was going to come loose on the sides, I went around and sewed the straw together on each side of the lens. So so we made our first little cutout, and then now I'm just going to go really close to the edge and going to even out the cuts because this is a little too narrow. Yeah, I'm going to cut it out just enough for it to fit through. So this is a little bit of a mess. We got a little bit closer to the sunglass shape. Can you see it? It's so cool. So we got really close to the edge of the outline, and I'm going to try to burn the edges, be less pokey, so let's give that a try. Going to burn the edges and hopefully it doesn't catch on fire. Just a little bit. Oh, it's working! I was not surprised at all that it was working. So I fit the lens through our cutout and I glued section by section, hot glued a little piece and then held it together for it to dry so the lens could stay in place easier. I hot glued little by little. Once it was somewhat dry, I went in with another layer until I reached all around the lens. I must say too, this was the first time I didn't burn my fingers when I was hot gluing something. I did make a mistake and cut a little too much, but I used some leftover straw and hot glued it so it would cover the hole around the lens. I let it dry for about 10 minutes and then I went in with another layer. I might have been a little paranoid, I didn't want it to pop out. But here it is with both of the lens completed. This is what we have so far, and I know she's looking a little rough. I'm going to clean up the edges a little bit and trim them down. And we still have this rickrack, and I put it around. I feel like it will look more polished, so let's give it a try. Again, this is all experimental and fun, so please don't be too harsh with me in the comments. I started gluing around the middle, then I worked my way around the lens. The rickrack was easy to bend, so that was really convenient to hot glue little by little and go around. This was relatively a quick project. The whole process took me around 2 hours, so this is really fun. Please let me know in the comments if you're planning on giving this a try. I would love to see your version and what embellishments you put on your own hat. Please tag me at Jenny Dame on Instagram or on here, so I would love to see. I finished both sides, removed that hat ribbon, and now it's time for the reveal. The perfect beach accessory. You'll never forget your sunglasses again. This was one of my favorite makes. I never thought I would be able to own a 1960s style sun hat. It was lots of fun, and I encourage you to make your own. Me and my mom had lots of fun enjoying the beach, and I got a lot of wear out of my new favorite 1960s style sunglass hat. And as a bonus, my mom tried it on.
It looks good. No pose.
Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.